Hey guys, I hope that you had a fantastic week, and I hope you were able to think about how God guides us, because that's what we were learning last week. We jumped into the book, into Psalms, Psalm 23, to start talking about how God guides us. We need to do that first verse together with those motions. Do you remember what they were?
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it together.
Ready? The Lord is my shepherd. He gives me everything I need.
So last week we talked about how God guides us, and this week we're going to talk about how God gives us rest. Rest from all kinds of things. Maybe hard things we have to do. Chores. What do you think?
Chores are hard. You know what else is really hard?
What?
Lifting heavy things.
Yeah.
Lifting heavy things makes me really tired.
Yes.
But sometimes I really want to. Like,
Right.
Can you imagine, do you think that you could lift 350 pounds over your head like those Olympic weightlifters do? I mean, that's the size of an adult reindeer. It's like lifting Sven the reindeer over your head. I don't think I could do that. Do you think you could do that?
I can do that.
What?
So we have these tools in our life, simple tools that help us carry heavy loads. And if I used one of those tools, I absolutely could lift a reindeer over my head. Do you think that's true?
Okay, fair enough. If you use a simple tool.
Using a simple tool. So in Jesus's time, the Bible talks about another simple tool that would help the people lift heavy loads and to do hard work. It's called a yoke. A yoke looks something like this. It's not this kind of yoke. So a yoke is different. It would tie two animals together and they would plow the fields. They would do the hard work. They would carry heavy loads. It was a simple tool that people would use. And it looked something like this.
Well, Jesus actually said, "Come to me, all you who are tired and carrying a heavy load, and I will give you rest." Jesus said, "Take my yoke upon you, because my yoke is easy and my load is light." So let's explore how heavy things can be made easy and light. Does that sound like a good idea?
I think it sounds like a great idea.
All right, let's do it. wow, those simple tools we used helped us carry a lot of heavy loads.
Yeah.
And when Jesus said, "Take my yoke upon you, my yoke is easy and my load is light," he was saying, use the simple tool I've given you, the yoke. When we're tied to Jesus with a yoke, it's like we're walking along together, but Jesus is doing all the hard work. He's the one carrying the heavy load so that I can rest. That's how God gives us rest.
Yes. Now, sometimes the word rest can sound super boring. Like if your mom says, we're going to take a rest. A lot of times that means we're going to be quiet. We're not going to do anything. It could even mean we're going to go to sleep, which does sound kind of boring. But that's not the kind of rest that we're talking about here. The rest that Jesus wants to give us is the rest from those heavy things in our lives that weigh us down. Things like worry and stress and fear. He wants to carry those things for us. The stresses of school or sickness, the struggles we have with our brothers and sisters and friends sometimes. He takes those and he carries them for us so that we can have rest. God gives us rest.
Yeah, should we put some actions to that just
We
for
should.
fun?
Oh,
Okay,
sure.
let's
Yeah,
do it.
let's
Are you
do
ready?
it.
How about God
God
gives us rest?
Very nice. I like that a lot.
All right, well, let's move on with our memory verse. Remember, all of this month, we are going to be learning together a whole chapter from the Bible, Psalm 23. And we already reviewed the first part, so let's move on to the next part. And it goes like this.
Well, actually, it's right on top of your booklet.
Perfect.
If you guys haven't picked one of these up, you can get it at the church office. So just swing by and we have them for you. But it has the whole verse right on the front. So I'm going to help us out and you're going to teach us the motions.
Perfect.
Okay. He lets me lie down in fields of green grass. He leads me beside quiet waters. He gives me new strength. He guides me in the right paths for the honor of his name.
All right, let's try it again.
Yes.
All together.
Okay.
Here we go. Ready? He lets me lie down in fields of green grass. He leads me beside the quiet waters. He gives me new strength. And he leads me in the right paths for the honor of his name. Great job, guys. We'll keep working on it.
Yes.
Should we start from the very beginning?
Yeah.
Let's do it from the very beginning. Okay, ready? Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd. He gives me everything I need. He lets me lie down in fields of green grass. He leads me beside quiet waters. He gives me a new strength. And he leads me on the right paths for the honor of his name.
We even need to work on it. That's a lot to learn.
It is a lot to learn, and so we're going to work on it together.
Together.
And we do really want to see videos of you guys working on it. You could turn it into a song. You could turn it into a dance. You could make up your own actions.
Yes.
Or you could just make a video of you practicing with our actions. We'd love to see how everybody's learning this together, how we're writing God's word on our hearts so we never forget that God guides us and God gives us rest.
Absolutely. So in your booklet that we have here for you, last week we drew a sheep to remind us that Jesus is the shepherd and he guides us. This week we are learning that God gives us rest, and so on this page of your booklet I want you to draw a picture of a scene that reminds you of peace and rest. Maybe it's a field or a stream. Maybe it's a garden. Maybe it's a place in your home that you go to find peace and rest. So get that in your booklet. We're going to do ours, and we'll be right back.
Okay. All right, let's see your journal.
Here's my stream of peace and rest. I just love being outside, and I definitely love being next to water. It definitely gives me a sense of peace and rest. So that's mine.
Yeah, mine's a lot the same. Mine's kind of more a mountain scene with the pine trees, but just being outside. Yeah, I think that there's You know, when David wrote that psalm, he was actually in the middle of a desert. And in the middle of that desert, he wrote that God leads him by water. That, I don't know, there's something about water that God knows maybe restores our soul and gives us some peace.
Yes.
So yeah, I think it's not a coincidence that that's kind of what we both drew as the thing that gave us peace.
I agree.
Yeah, so continue to work on your memory verse. We want to see your videos. We
We'll
want to
work
see
on
your
it too.
journals. Yes, we will work on it too this week. But Gwen, do you want to close us in prayer?
I do. God, thank you so much that you offer rest, that we can bring our worries and our stresses to you, and you not only carry them for us, but you want to. Help us remember that day by day by day to bring you the things that are heavy, because you take them, you carry them for us so that we can have rest. Thank you for who you are. Help us to be a light to those around us this week. We love you so very much. Amen.
Amen.
Yep.
All right. Have a great week.